Welcome to this list of 10 of the best young central midfielders Football Manager 2020 have to offer. And for this list, I'm going to focus on players that are 20 years or younger. And remember, there is RNG involved. Whenever you start a new save, these youngsters' stats will be a little bit randomized, and also their potential will be a little bit randomized. So make sure to scout all of them, because some of them might be stronger and some of them might be weaker in your save. And this position is one of the positions where there probably is the most talented young players in FM2020. So before we get on to the 10 I brought for my list, I just want to mention a few honorable mentions that you really should scout also, because they looked really good in some of my saves. And these are Alessio Riccardi, Hamed Junior Traore, and Jude Bellingham. Make sure to scout these three, because they looked really promising in quite a few of my saves. But now on to the list. So first we have Ezequiel Palacios. Probably butchered that name, sorry. 20-year-old Argentinian player, plays for River, and his stats is just about to kick off. And especially if you look at the most important stats for his role as deep lying playmaker, is really where his strength is. 15 in technique, 16 in passing, 15 in first touch, and so on. So a very promising, very talented young central midfielder. Next up, we have Dominic Boslai. Another player that probably butchered their name. This Hungarian is only 18 years old. He plays for Salzburg, and a lot of talent. The talents in this player. He's a Masala, and could also play as a deep line playmaker. And just about to kick off. He's just 18. Imagine 3-4 years old, more years with development. With all these stats increased, it would look just insane. Next up, we have Romario Barro, a 19-year-old Portuguese box-to-box midfielder who plays for Porto, and pretty all around with his stats, kind of the same level all the way around. And another player where like, just imagine all these in 4 years, all of these stats are like 2, 3, 4 steps higher. He will look sensational. And playing for in Portugal might make him a little bit easier to sign, even though it's probably going to cost a decent amount. Next up, we have Arne Meyer, 20-year-old German playing for Hertha Berlin, and he will probably be a bit expensive. Already his value is almost 10 mil, but another player where the stats is just in the right position. 15 technique, 14 passing, 14 first touch, 17 in teamwork, 14 vision, 14 work rate, 16 composure, 14 in anticipation. Like, every stat is just right for this youngster, and he will keep on improving. The only downside with this kid is he starts the game off with a 2 to 3 months injury. I know injuries on youngsters could always be a little bit worrisome, but if he comes back from this injury in a good way, he could just take off, become the next big German central midfielder in the world. Then we had Eduardo Camarena, and when you look at his stats, you need to take one thing into consideration. He is just 16 years old. Oh my god. These stats at 16 years old, it's sensational. It's insane. If this kid could stay injury free and you keep on developing him, he has like 5, 6, 7 years where his stats could just go up each season. So, I mean, I don't even need to talk about him anymore. Have you ever seen a 16-year-old with stats like this? Probably not. Then we have Matteo Gondouzi. Oh no, the name I butchered. And he will be expensive. Of course, you probably heard of him. He plays for Arsenal, 20 years old. I mean, his value is already over 30 million euros. So if you want him, you're going to get a lot of quality. I mean, he is good enough to start in most teams already, and he has a few seasons left where he can keep on developing, getting his stats up. So you're going to have to pay a big amount if you want him. But if you do, you're going to be set on this position for many years into the future. I mean, look at that, 17 in the work rate, 17 in teamwork, 15 technique, 15 tackling, 15 passing, 14 first touch. I mean, he will be very expensive, but if you can afford him, he's going to make you happy. Next up, we have Sergio Gomez, an 18-year-old Spanish player playing for Dortmund in Germany, and another guy with a lot of potential. His only weakness is probably his physical skills. If you can develop his physical side, the rest will come for free. I mean, 17 technique, 16 first touch, 16 vision, 16 flair, 15 composure. This is what could become one of the best playmakers in the world if you're just gonna develop his physical side to make him strong enough. Because I mean, he's just 18. Give him 4 seasons of development, he will be sensational. And an interesting thing with this guy is he has just 1 year left of his contract. So if you find yourself in a situation where he doesn't sign the new contract, you could get him for free for the next season with a little bit of luck. Or maybe I'm just mistaken because he's actually loaned out. So yeah, I probably messed that one up, didn't I? Yeah, his contract is a little bit longer, but 2 seasons, that's still not a long time. And with a short contract like that, that gives us a lot of potential, because the contract length clearly affects the value. But enough talking, you already saw him. The next name on the list is Ryan Gravenberch, plays for Ajax, and another guy, look at these stats, he's only 17 years old, already about to look sensational. Give this like just imagine 3 seasons in when he's only 20, and what his stats going to be about like then, because his stats already looks fantastic. Clearly one player that would be on my list to sign as soon as I could if I started a new save and I could afford him. So yeah, as I said, 17, 3 seasons, only going to be 20, still going to be very, very young, and it's going to be world class. Next up, we have Ilaix Moriba, another name that I probably butchered. And remember when I told you guys earlier in this video, have you ever seen a 16-year-old with stats like that? Well, now you have it, because there's another 16 years old player and his stats is even better. This is insane. This is stats this would be good stats for a 20-year-old, and he's 16. Like 16 technique, 15 first touch, 15 determination, 17 flair, 15 natural fitness. He's 16, for God's sake. The problem here, the big challenge is he plays for Barcelona. Could you ever sign him? It's going to be very tough, but maybe in a few seasons he won't break into the first team squad because they are world-class players in every position. Then maybe he wants to leave, maybe get transfer listed. But could be the best 16-year-old I've ever seen for this position in any version of Football Manager. I kind of feel like it's just crazy. And then the last name on the list is 19-year-old Frenchman Michael Cousins. Plays for Bayern, and another player that's almost at the level where he could break into most, at least medium-sized teams in the top leagues. And give him 2 more seasons of development and he will be a regular starter for more or less any team in the world. You can see he's just 19, he already have 16 technique, 16 passing, 16 corners, 15 first touch, 16 vision. It goes on and on, 15 composure. Another fantastic player, but he will probably be very expensive to sign. And there you have it. But as I said, this is a position where this game, there's just so many talented youngsters, so I probably missed one of your favorites. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear about what sensational young central midfielder you managed to find in your save. And of course, if you found this video helpful, press that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and make sure to check out my other videos of the top talent, the top young talent in the Football Manager for other positions. Thank you for watching.